The debate about whether Takamura could defeat Ricardo Martínez has existed for many years, likely since both characters first appeared in Hajime no Ippo. Some fans believe that Takamura may be the only fighter who truly holds the key to beating Ricardo. But what if I told you Takamura has already shown how to do it? Let's break it down. We have to go back to the time Sendo traveled to Mexico to challenge Alfredo Gonzalez to a professional match. Due to a mix-up by his chaperone Escalares, Sendo ended up at the wrong gym, the gym where Ricardo Martínez himself was training. There, Sendo was invited to spar with the reigning world champion. Naturally, Sendo was completely outclassed. Ricardo humiliated him, yet somehow, Sendo made him fall to one knee. Despite the chaos of that moment, it caused a massive stir. Reporters snapped countless photos, Ricardo Martínez kneeling on the canvas, bloodied Sendo standing tall with a feral look in his eyes. Later, it was explained that Sendo had tripped forward and accidentally collided with Ricardo. But in a conversation with Ippo, Sendo implied that his punch did connect and that Ricardo's fall wasn't entirely an accident. So how does this connect to Mamoru Takamura? Let's take a look at Takamura's world title match against David Eagle. This fight is featured in both the manga and anime, and I happened to reread it recently. I noticed something fascinating that I had forgotten. David Eagle had a textbook fighting style. He used strong jabs, outstanding distance control, and tactical precision. He had studied Takamura closely, much like Ricardo Martínez does with all of his opponents. Takamura, on the other hand, is emotional, aggressive, and prefers exchanging brutal blows, just like Sendo. In fact, these two are often compared within the series by other characters. This match offers huge insight into what a potential match between Sendo and Ricardo might look like. In the beginning, Takamura was wild and unfocused, throwing large, reckless punches. These would be easy to dodge for any skilled boxer, but they carried terrifying power. And even though Eagle wasn't getting hit, the mere effort of dodging such dangerous punches clearly rattled him. Psychologically, he began to break. That raises an interesting thought. Could Ricardo Martínez, known for his calm and clinical style, be shaken or mentally worn down by having to dodge wild, lethal blows over and over? Now here's the interesting part. The first time Takamura managed to land a solid blow on David Eagle was by tripping intentionally. It was a tactic. He stumbled forward to cut off Eagle's escape and used the opportunity to land a punch. Sound familiar? That's almost exactly what happened in the Ricardo versus Sendo sparring. Sendo may have tripped on purpose or used the opportunity of the fall to strike Ricardo. Because it was so unorthodox, Ricardo's legendary analytical mind couldn't predict it. In Takamura's fight, this was the turning point. After that, he broke Eagle down completely. Another thing, in that same fight, Takamura cheated. He headbutted Eagle and made his eye bleed. Then, he repeatedly targeted the injury. The manga even justifies it. A boxer's job is to find and exploit the opponent's weakness. Eagle, for contrast, refused to go after Takamura's injured eye earlier in the match. He wanted a fair fight. He wanted to prove who was stronger, but Takamura didn't care. He didn't care who Eagle was. He only cared about winning the belt. It was a sharp contrast in mentality. Now, would Sendo do something like a headbutt to level the playing field? Honestly, I doubt it. Sendo is a pure, straightforward fighter. He wants to win in the ring as a boxer, not through dirty tricks. But let's be real. Did any of us expect Takamura to headbutt someone during a world championship fight? So, no, I don't think Sendo would go that far. But I also don't think the possibility is zero. In the end, a win is a win. In both of these matches, we have clear parallels. One fighter with overwhelming brute power and instinct, Sendo, Takamura, and another with elite technique and analysis, Eagle, Ricardo. And while Ricardo is a gentleman of the ring, we also know he has a much darker side, a ruthless side, a part of him that may resemble Takamura more than we thought. In summary, the idea of tripping to land a punch, as seen with Takamura versus Eagle and Sendo versus Ricardo, might not be a mistake at all. It might be the strategy. If Sendo wants any shot at beating Ricardo, that unexpected chaos might be the only path to shaking his calm and finally bringing the champ to his knees. What do you think? Do you believe their fights will truly mirror each other? Could Sendo's accidental fall be a hint at the future? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more Hajime no Ippo content. Good night, champ.